Hello everyone, and welcome to my GH Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Discover the baby daddy. Maxie startles her relatives, and Dante receives heartbreaking news. Maxie Jones wakes up. Dante informs Jordan about Anna's breakdown. Trina has trust issues. Portia confesses that Curtis is the father of her child, and more on General Hospital. Portia Robinson made the announcement that Curtis Ashford was the father of her child. Maxie Jones awoke, and Dante Falconeri informed Jordan Ashford about Anna Devane. All that and more. Key points: Portia announces Curtis is her baby's father, and agrees to joint custody. Trina seeks Ava's counsel as she struggles with forgiveness. Dante fills Jordan in on the details of Anna's breakdown, and his plans moving forward as commissioner. As they talk about adoption, Brooklyn and Chase each go back on their own experiences. Maxie surprises her family by waking up in Boston. Portia announced Curtis is her baby's father. Portia told Trina Robinson, Isaiah Gannon, and Curtis that Curtis was the baby's father. Isaiah left after congratulating Curtis, and Trina joyfully embraced her parents. Trina also withdrew, enabling Curtis and Portia to chat alone. They chose to complete their divorce and settle on shared custody to focus on parenting instead of bickering. Isaiah was in the locker room, bummed out by the test results. When he came out, Portia was there. They both wanted to be with the baby, but Isaiah wanted it to be his. Curtis told Jordan the news, but Isaiah was worried about Curtis being a problem. Isaiah wanted to know whether Curtis was happy with Jordan being around her child after Curtis informed him that they had agreed on shared custody, and Portia reassured him that they had. Portia joked that Jordan wouldn't stay since no one could reach Curtis's high standards. Meanwhile, at Jordan's house, Curtis told her he was going to be a parent again. She inquired whether Trina knew about the test results, and Curtis replied his daughter was delighted but still digesting things. Portia handled the news better than he imagined. They simply needed to finish the divorce paperwork. Then, Curtis and Jordan committed to their lives together. Trina talked things out with Ava. Meeting with Ava Jerome at Haven Cafe, Trina disclosed that her mother had finished the paternity test. Although she felt happy to find that her father was really the baby's dad, she still retained bitterness against her mother for the entire affair. She was concerned about how to overcome that disappointment and restore trust with Portia. Ava promised Trina that she would support her no matter what option she chose, emphasizing that every relationship includes taking a risk on the other person. And despite Portia's prior faults, she really loved Trina. Ava talked about her past mistake with Kiki. Ava then pondered on her own past when she distanced herself from Kiki. Jerome had permanently granted him the commissioner post. He learned that the distance between being a detective and an administrator was wider than he expected, and he was apprehensive about remaining as commissioner. Additionally, he felt the weight of stepping into Anna's role. Jordan lauded him as a natural leader and pushed Dante to make the job his own, knowing from her experience as his employer that the officers at the PCPD appreciated him. He playfully asked if she wanted her old position back, but Jordan said that being commissioner wasn't her goal any days. Dante summoned Chase to the office later. Dante summoned Harrison Chase for a meeting to touch base, and Chase grumbled that after years of working together as detectives, they were now in the positions of patrolman and commissioner. Recognizing that Chase had always been a reliable officer, Dante wanted to guarantee that Chase wouldn't have problems receiving commands from him and would respect the bounds of being a patrolman. This meant no side investigations to establish a case against Michael. As Chase remembered holding Michael's key ring with the key to Willow's house, Dante told him that he wouldn't meddle in the investigation, and Chase finally decided to do the same. Brooklyn and Chase reminisced while babysitting Bailey Lou Jones. Brooklyn and Chase reminisced about how they began to fall in love. This was when they were claiming the young girl was theirs to keep Maxie's daughter concealed from Peter August. Chase remarked that even back then, he realized what an amazing mother Brooklyn would be, and he was excited for them to have a child together. Chase reassured her that he wasn't trying to push her into adoption. Brooklyn explained that she had made progress in her connection with Gio Palmieri and didn't want to endanger that bond. Chase decided to wait until they were both ready to explore adoption. After that, Chase walked out for his first day back at work as a patrolman. Gio dropped in for a talk about Emma later. Gio visited and shared his fears to his mom about the likelihood of Emma Scorpio Drake relocating back to San Francisco during her family's difficulty with Anna. Although Brooklyn understood his anxieties, She believed it was premature for Gio to imagine Emma wouldn't return, and she proposed that if it came to it, Gio could go to San Francisco to win Emma back. Then, Gio gave Bailey Lou to her favorite snack of cheese and crackers, which made Brooklyn reflect back to the few times she babysat him when he was younger. Gio remembers how pleased he was whenever Mom came to visit during her music tours and how she took him to his first concert. He then disclosed that he had been really disappointed when he found she was his mother, but now he felt blessed to have a cool cousin who turned out to be his mom. Felicia, Georgie and James visited Maxie in Boston. Felicia Scorpio, Georgie Spinelli and James West visited Maxie, which they did weekly. James was heartbroken when Georgie stated his mom couldn't see his Valentine's cards, but Felicia assured him Maxie could sense their love. They took turns holding Maxie, and Felicia and Georgie walked out so James could chat to his parents discreetly. He told her he loved her more, which is why he said no to a classmate's Valentine request, and he wanted her to wake up to see him play hockey. In the hallway, Georgie wept to Felicia, claiming she didn't intend to bother James, but she missed her mama terribly. Maxie woke up. Switching places with James, Georgie laid on Maxie and begged her to wake up. In the waiting room, James informed Felicia that everyone at school wanted to see his actual dad. Then it was Felicia's turn alone with Maxie, and she grieved as she described to her daughter how she and Damien Spinelli attempted to make things normal for the kids. Felicia informed Maxie how loved she was and how much the family missed her, imploring for her to wake up before kissing her forehead. Later, Felicia and the kids were ready to leave home to Port Charles when they started squabbling about whether to stop at the bookshop or the ice rink on the way to the airport. To their amazement, Maxie emerged at her room door, explaining her kid wouldn't skate without a helmet. Lulu helped Nathan with Valentine's Day goodies for James' class, admitting their feeling burdened after promising to provide Valentine's Day presents for James's class. Nathan West sought out to Lulu Spencer for assistance. She joined him to buy for PDA-approved party trinkets and helped him put together the gift bags. Lulu was taken aback when Nathan suddenly turned the topic from healing his friendship with James to voicing his reservations about their own relationship. She was astonished to find out that he had sought guidance from Nina Reeves, but she revealed that she had also spoken to her mom for identical reasons. Despite the complicated scenario with Dante and Maxie, Nathan said he wanted to be with her, and Lulu expressed that she felt the same way. General Hospital spoilers Friday, February 13th. Maxie's exam results. Brooklyn blasts Lulu. Britt threatens Marco. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, February 13th. State that Maxie Jones will get a post-coma checkup, while Brooklyn Quartermain blasts Lulu Spencer and Michael Corinthos gets set for a sizzling date. For starters, Felicia Scorpio and Damien Spinelli will meet with Maxie's doctor after she receives an examination. Maxie recently woke up, got out of bed, and sounded relatively normal when she spoke to James West. So she looks to be doing well now that she's emerged from her coma. Felicia will want to make sure Maxie is no longer in any danger, so Maxie's doctor may concede her recuperation looks to be on track. Spinelli and Felicia will finally have an important option to make, so they may have to decide whether they'll notify Maxie about Nathan West's survival or keep off. Speaking of Nathan, it appears like he'll get caught enjoying an intimate moment with Lulu. Brooklyn will want to know what precisely is going on between Nathan and Lulu as her rage escalates. Brooklyn will be watchful of Maxie's sentiments while Nathan catches Britt Westbourne off surprise elsewhere. Will Nathan's revelation concerning Lulu surprise Britt, or may he have Maxie's coma waking news by then? After Lucas Jones confides in Elizabeth Baldwin about his distressing eavesdropping session, she'll force him to pack his bags and leave out of Winmere. Back with Britt, she'll give a warning to Marco Rios. It seems Britt may mock Marco about not being able to keep on to Lucas after his plot with Jens Sidwell finally blows up in his face. When it ends, it will not end well for you, Britt says in Friday's GH teaser video. As for Lucy Coe, she'll return to Sidwell's door and say she was too hasty in walking out on him. Lucy will take back her ultimatum and try to smooth things up with Sidwell, but she'll actually be setting a spiteful trap. Next, Jacinda Bracken will call Michael out on concealing secrets from her. When exactly were you planning to tell me about that? Jacinda asks in Friday's preview clip. This may be regarding Michael's custody settlement with Willow Kane, as Jacinda had to seek updates from Christina Corinthos Davis. Jacinda's fears will boil up and leave her feeling that she doesn't have a meaningful future with Michael, but he'll disagree and try to sweep her off her feet with a Valentine's Day date. General Hospital spoilers predict there'll be lots of tangled romances as the week wraps down, so stay tuned for all the highs and lows. General Hospital spoilers. Lulu and Nathan busted. Maxie shocked by BFF's betrayal? General Hospital spoilers predict the sparks burning between Lulu Spencer and Nathan West might be short-lived. Will Maxie Jones' homecoming put a kibosh on their future romance? When Maxie was poisoned last year, her husband Nathan West was still dead. What's going to happen when she wakes up this week and learns he's still alive? Here's what's coming up next week on the ABC soap. Spoilers below. Kirsten Storms returns. It has been months since Kirsten Storms' exit from General Hospital. It was announced last month that the actress was back on the soap set filming, and teasers show she will wake up from her coma this week. Damian Spinelli will most likely be by her side when she wakes up. But their reunion will be bittersweet since Spinelli knows he will probably lose her when she discovers Nathan West is back from the grave. While Maxie has been in a coma at a Boston hospital, Lulu Spencer has been spending time with her poisoned bestie's husband. Lulu and Nathan connected over their common affection for Maxie and began courting when he came back to town last year. Nathan found that Maxie had moved on with Spinelli, and he thought it was time for him to move on with her BFF Lulu. Maxie shocked by betrayal. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Nathan and Lulu will keep sneaking about Port Charles when Maxie Jones wakes up, but will try to hide their connection from her. Port Charles is a tiny community, and the truth always comes out. It will only be a matter of time until someone witnesses Nathan and Lulu enjoying a moment and fills Maxie on. Maybe poor Maxie will walk in on them herself. Regardless of how she finds out, Maxie is going to be heartbroken by her BFF and husband's treachery. Can she truly be furious though if she has Spinelli? Do Nathan and Lulu make a beautiful couple? General Hospital's big baby daddy reveal is here, but it may not be what it seems. After finally agreeing to a paternity test in the February episode, she's ready to announce whether ex-husband Curtis or lover Isaiah is the father of her unborn kid. Or should we say that she's ready to name one of them as the father of her kid? Why the weird phrasing? Because Portia may very well lie. She doesn't want to be linked to Curtis any more than he wants to be tied to her at this time. And she'd be only too pleased to have a kid uniting her further with Isaiah. So even if the baby is Curtis, she may do what she feels is a favor to all of them and reveal that Isaiah is the dad-to-be. As the doc's portrayer Brooke Kerr recently told Soap Opera Digest, she knows this is going to affect a lot of lives. And it could feel in the moment like a kindness to set Curtis totally free of her. If Portia does lie about the paternity test results, she could conclude, fine. That was hard. That was awful. But it's done. Moving on. Except that no one ever gets to really move on a soap opera. Eventually, the truth will come out, and kaboom. Up in smoke goes Portia's friendship with Isaiah. Down for the count goes Curtis' reunion with Jordan. And as for Portia's relationship with Trina, good luck preserving that one, physician. General Hospital spoilers. Lucas gets a shock, disobeys Marco and finds the secret lab. General Hospital spoilers and updates hint Lucas Jones will face a shock this week on the ABC series. Might he disobey his boyfriend Marco Rios and locate the hidden lab that Britt Westbourne's being forced to work in? Marco made Lucas promise not to go in the catacombs. Marco made Lucas promise not to go in the catacombs lately, while Jocelyn Jax was visiting in spite of Lucas' explanation that he lived there as a youngster. Ava Jerome had the hidden entrance in the living area beside the fireplace covered off, but that was probably because she had Avery Corinthos Jerome there. But what Lucas doesn't know is that not only had Anna Devane been captive in that area recently transported to France by Pascal, so's the secret lab. This is the lab where Britt is being pushed to finish her father, Caesar Faison's final project, which is claimed to entail cold fusion. Will curiosity kill the cat? Now the issue is, will curiosity kill the cat and Lucas not be able to avoid descending under the home in spite of his pledge to Marco? Lucas was already astonished seeing Britt at the house recently, and she claimed it was a second job as a concierge doctor at Windermere, and then there was crooked WSB director Ross Cullum. Marco understands about everything that's going on and about Cullum being his father's supervisor in the underground project, even if he plays ignorant. There's also a risk Jocelyn may blow the beans about finding Faison's book and cigarillos in Cullum's coat to Lucas and potentially to her mother, who also pays a visit. She had an interaction with Jen Sidwell when she performs Valentine Cassadine a favor after he informs her he's headed to Windermere. Either situation may trigger Lucas to investigate. Lucas is shocked at what he finds on his exploration adventure, It makes sense for Lucas to be inquisitive if he finds Britt at a portion of the mansion where there is still an access to go down under into the catacombs or near them. It's simple to think that if he's the only other there, and everyone else is someplace else for him to follow her and discover the lab. One would expect that Sidwell would have a security squad, but considering how Pascal functions as his butler as well as having more sinister jobs as well, perhaps he doesn't have one. Lucas may definitely be astonished if, when he goes exploring, he finds the secret lab even if he doesn't follow Britt inside it. What else may he see, or possibly overhear if he reaches the lab, and what will he do about it? General Hospital spoilers. Portia's got big news this week. Who's the daddy? General Hospital spoilers predict Portia Robinson is preparing to take the paternity test this week that will determine the entire result of her future and that of her unborn child's. Both Curtis Ashford and Isaiah Gannon are eager to be the father of Portia's baby, but obviously someone is going to lose out here. If I know Portia, she may be mainly worried with how this test result is going to affect her life, not theirs or her child's. Let's evaluate things from each of their views, shall we? Curtis and Isaiah go toe-to-toe. Curtis and Isaiah are both competing for being Portia's baby daddy, even though one of them, Curtis, couldn't be more done with her. He's eager to move on with Jordan Ashford and put his marriage to Portia in the past, but the subject of whether or not this baby is his is holding things up a bit. He only wants clarity about his future, knowing that being the baby's father won't stand in the way of him being with Jordan, though Portia would prefer that. Last she talked about it, Portia wanted Curtis to be the father because she saw it as a bridge to mend the harm she created by lying to him and Trina Robinson. Isaiah, on the other side, wants the kid to be his and is scared that Curtis may pursue custody if it isn't. Spoilers spill the baby wins out. Some may argue that every bad action Portia has ever taken has been in the name of love for her kid, but that's not exactly true, regardless how many times she swears upon it. For instance, withholding the truth about her father from Trina wasn't at all about what was best for her kid. Hiding her current pregnancy and the paternity issue around it wasn't great for Trina either. So we have to ask how much Portia is inclined to put her child first, ahead of her own selfish interests. It's fair that Curtis is anxious about this. So while the kid on board might have equal possibilities of ending up with an acceptable dad, many fans are more concerned about Portia's mothering skills. Portia comes first ultimately. We may assume that Portia is going to put Portia first. That's what she's been doing thus far, even if she does so under the pretext of keeping her stress low for the benefit of the pregnancy and kid. She is hoping for a specific outcome, and oddly, it's not that the man she is now connected with is the father of her child. It would be much more intriguing if he were to figure it out. Might Portia's expression say it all when she reveals who the father is and responds emotionally in either direction? What happens if Curtis is the dad? Will Isaiah be left flailing in the wind? Will Portia continue to prioritize herself to the child's detriment? Early week spoilers February 16th to 20th. Evil intercepted, love twists, romance risks. General Hospital teasers for the week of February 16th hint some surprises. Fans should anticipate an evil scheme to be intercepted. There is a curveball with a love tale. Valentine's Day scenes. Let's start off with some romance and passion. Valentine's Day will arrive in Port Charles. Jason Morgan might take a risk meeting up with Britt Westbourne. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos definitely has a romantic surprise for Jacinda Breckel. However, the blonde continues thinking this is too good to be true. So, might Jacinda destroy a good thing? Drew Kane tormented over with Willow Tate Kane. She will continue drugging Drew Kane. As long as she can keep him not talking and immobilized, everyone will assure she's so compassionate. However, Harrison Chase might soon find out the truth. There is also Kai Taylor, who won't quit Drew while he's handicapped. That might have Kai wondering if Willow is doing something to Drew. Kai and Trina Robinson already know that Willow is deadly. Brooklyn Quartermaine snaps. General Hospital spoilers for the week of February 16th suggest that Brooklyn Quartermaine might snap. Chase is concerned with proving that Michael shot Drew. However, they know that Willow was guilty all along despite being cleared legally. BLQ will had just about enough, and it might shatter their marriage. Maybe that is how Chase ends up getting closer to Willow. In any event, Wiley Corinthos just happened to notice Chase placing Michael's keys on the floor. It would be exactly like the drama to have Wiley discover Chase's deceit. Carly Spencer's risk over with Carly Spencer. She managed to cover at Windermere. However, Lucas Jones overheard Jen Sidwell and Marco Rios chat regarding Carly. Lulu Spencer's disaster. As for Nathan West and Lulu Spencer, it seems their romance develops into a disaster. Maxie Jones is going to wake up. Will Lulu and Nathan be able to hide their feelings and relationship from Maxie? While Maxie has moved on, the twist is that Nathan is alive. So, that may build up some fascinating tales. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.